What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. It's been way too long, and this was not weekly.
And whose fault was that?
Wyatt's.
No.
He was busy every single time we tried.
That is not true.
It is true, though.
No.
I think he was about half and half.
Kind of true. Kind of true. But also, I went to the beach a couple times.
Yeah.
But
that
it happens when you own a beach place. But
okay.
let's get back
Flex.
to what we're here for, which is to talk about the last couple episodes of Invincible. That would be episodes 6, 7, and 8. Obviously, the series was only 8 episodes this season. So
they have lined up. They're gonna have multiple seasons.
yes, now we're getting
What
2 more
happened in
seasons.
6? Was it the one where the
It's
guy
the
got
college
captured?
kids.
Yeah,
College
okay.
kids. But to start us out, obviously, I am Tanner. I am, I guess, the resident pop culture movie TV guy on the superhero side. I don't know, comparatively to these two. On my right, we have Mr. Jimmy Comics himself, Riley Davis. Say hello, Riley.
Say it for audio listeners.
There's no
I know,
audio
I know.
listeners.
Screw the audio listeners. And then to
We're
my
not supposed to
very
listen,
right, we have the man who's never
Stop
wrong,
shaking the table, jeez.
the table shaker,
I'm not.
Wyatt
That's
Smith.
not me.
Wyatt Smith.
I'm not the one shaking the.
Anyways, so basically to start out this review, I think we will start out kind of doing episode by episode, just with different parts that we remember and things such as that. And then we will give a overall review of the entire series at the very end. But let's go ahead and start out with episode 6 of Invincible, which was the episode with the college kids and the Reaniman. What did y'all think about the Reaniman episode of Invincible?
Firstly, I think the Reaniman are cool.
I think they're very cool.
Pretty freaky.
I think they're a scary villain. I think episode 6 was the weakest in the entire series. Just from the 8 episode run, I think that one was the weakest episode of
It's
the entire
definitely the
series.
one I had the most issues with, just because logic was not in that episode at all for several characters.
Yeah, it just kind of seemed like
What do you mean?
I mean, it makes sense for the overall story and
Like
Reaniman
Amber,
play a part, but
okay, Amber already knows that Mark is invincible. A Reaniman attacks the college, and she's trying to get people away, and Mark disappears. Well, Mark shows up as invincible to fight it, and when he comes back, she's like, "You ran away, you coward," and like makes a big deal out of it, even though she knows he's fucking invincible.
Did you know that at that point?
Yes, she did.
she knew the entire, basically the entire
Yeah.
time. But her thing was about being angry. So to her,
Yeah.
that was her giving him the opportunity to tell her. But
Well,
he never
she
would.
did it in a bitchy way.
Yes. Well, yes.
We
But,
hate, all my homies hate Amber, by the way.
I think she's a good character. I think they're doing some weird stuff with
Yeah.
her, just in terms of comparing her to the comic, which I don't hate it. It's just different. So I'm interested in see where they're going to go with it or if they'll change anything else. The Reaniman, I think, are awesome. I think Mark punching him and not realizing how
strong he is.
strong he is.
Because he,
And then
he
he,
punched the... So they introduced the guy who makes the Reaniman. He's there at the college on a grant, and he's in a lecture,
Can't
like
remember what that guy's
listening
name is.
into a lecture, and he starts debating the professor about how humans are just machines and need upgrades. And Amber talks back to him a couple times, and then...
D.A. Sinclair
Yeah.
is his name. He was voiced by old Flash himself.
Yeah.
Whatever that guy's name is. You remember what that guy's name is? Justice League Flash?
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember what his name is. But anyways, he was voiced by the guy who plays Flash in the Justice League movie, both Snyder Cut and the Justice Cut.
Oh, you mean
Yes.
Ezra Miller?
Yes, Ezra Miller is the voice of
Okay.
D.A. Sinclair.
I thought you meant from the show.
No. He's from Ezra Miller is the voice of D.A. Sinclair, which I like D.A. Sinclair. He shows up a little later, which they pushed this way forward than where it is in the comic, but they brought the Reaniman back in some later episodes of this season, which I liked it and enjoyed a lot. Overall, my problems with the episode was just kind of that it was a little run-of-the-mill. Not much really happened in developments of anything.
It was pretty slowly paced.
Yeah, it was more, I don't know, it focused more on the characters, which normally I like character building stuff.
But
But
again,
this,
like I said, the logic wasn't there. Like in character building, if it's just they do stuff that makes no sense, it's just not as good.
Yeah, and then the next episode 7, had a lot more stuff that I enjoyed, which was basically expanding people knowing that Omni-Man was the way he was, and
he was the one who killed the Guardians.
Yep, the confrontation between Debbie and Omni-Man, that was great. That was incredible. I loved that so much because that's not in the comic at all. So it was cool development, and her knowing basically that he did it and confronting him over it. You really got the sense of, damn, is he gonna kill her? Is that fist about to go through the head?
The majority of episode 7 I love because it was all just Cecil and the GDA doing what they could to stop Omni-Man by as much time as they could.
That was amazing.
Omni-Man's flying, and then like a light shines around him. He's like, "You wouldn't dare!" And they shoot a space laser at him, and it causes an apocalyptic event for miles around.
Cecil, I loved what they did with Cecil there.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me a little weirded out by maybe I just understood the Cecil character different in the comic, but it's going to be interesting to see
from what I've gathered, he's a lot warmer in this than in the comics.
Very much warmer.
Most of the characters of this art shop is just government dog, does whatever, very cold, not really emotional, but Cecil actually shows emotion.
Yep.
He's very...
Bobby Hill didn't die in the comic either, by the way.
Yeah, Bobby Hill. Rip.
Yeah, he died in this show.
Rip Donald.
That was cool. I liked that Omni-Man was like, I've caught you now, Cecil, and he like goes and basically tries to kill everybody.
Yeah, and so
he's
holding
the house up.
Yeah, he's
Bobby
holding
Hill blows the house up.
No, he's holding Donald by the back, and Donald goes, "It's been an honor, sir." And Omni-Man's like, "Who are you talking?" And then he presses the button and blows up the house. And Cecil's watching with Debbie, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry, we evacuated the neighborhood, but even then, we couldn't use like a high yield nuke or anything like that. So hopefully, it'll knock him on his ass for a bit, or it won't do anything at all because the smoke clears. He's just standing there, not a scratch on him.
Yeah, I mean, they send everything at him, and they even sent some reanimate off after him, which was interesting choice.
They dropped from orbit like ODSTs.
Yeah, and they actually kind of kicked his ass.
Yeah.
Like, they honestly held their own so than they do.
It just shows the power of Omni-Man, because they're like biting and pulling his skin.
Yeah.
And a normal human, they would have bit their face off. But Omni-Man's so Viltrumite that they stretch it, but they tear nothing.
Yeah, and the reanimate, like, I don't like that. I like that Cecil shows that like he was working with him and stuff, but even he hates working with him and stuff.
But the thing he says though, like Debbie asks, "What are those?" He's like, "Dead soldiers serving their country for a final time." So they're not using like just people they pick up off the streets like the evil bastard scientist was. Like they're using like soldiers who passed away in the line of duty. Right,
and that's an odd choice, different from the comic. In the comic, it's a bigger deal when Cecil's using the reanimate. Mark confronts him over it, which that might still happen in the series since we don't actually see Mark having knowledge of him using reanimate. But it'll be interesting to see how that reaction plays off in the comic versus now, because it kind of seems like it's an open secret now.
Yeah,
and no one really gives a shit. But in the comic, it was a lot bigger. Deal.
That whole in episode 8, that ending sequence, right, with the song, like right before the credits, and it's flashing.
Yeah, we see his army. Yeah.
We see the army of Rhiannon. So each one of those scenes I've heard could be its own season of events, like season arcs.
Basically. Yeah, so you're hitting the money on there, and there's someone they leave out of that who I think is going to be really the big bad of season 2, which is interesting. Angstorm Levy will be probably the big bad.
I'm guessing. I'm going to make another guess. Season 2's main villain is going to be Doc Seismic.
No.
He has an army of magma men now.
I saw that. No, Doc Seismic is not going to be the villain, but I do think it'll be Angstorm Levy. Kirkman did an interview, and he said, yes, you will see Angstorm Levy next season, so I think he'll be the main villain. But the... I don't know. It was just weird to see where they're animated. And then I like the Cthulhu little creature that he pulled out.
Another thing that happened in episode 7, they fully not fully wrapped up, but they wrapped up the stuff Robot was doing, which was growing his own body, and it's a clone body of Rex Splode, which when he meets them, the rest of the Guardians, they are understandably, Rex goes, "What the fuck? Like, you used my body?"
Yes.
And everyone is freaked out, except Monster Girl. Monster Girl's kind of like, "Oh, that's so sweet."
Yeah. It's definitely very odd.
Yeah.
Just a little odd for his
Just the
reasoning
Guardians
and
in
stuff.
general. Like, I have another issue with them in episode 8, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But this always also wraps up the Mauler twins a bit.
Mhm.
Like, so they did all this so
Robot
they
takes
could
them
they
down.
could get a GDA control collar. And Robot takes him down, but then Omni-Man starts going off, so the Guardians all get called in to go back to their HQ, so Robot has to leave before he can fully capture them or whatever.
Yep.
And they're like, okay, time to use our insurance, because they stole the body of
Of
Immortal,
Immortal,
and
yeah.
they put them together, and there's like, wait, Cecil didn't revive him. Cecil's an idiot. And they put this control collar on him, and they flip it on, and he goes, "Oh, where's Omni-Man?"
Yeah.
And because it doesn't work, and they just go hands up and back away.
Yep.
They want nothing to do with this.
So then we get that great fight with Mortal and Omni-Man,
Yeah.
and Immortal doesn't really take
Yeah.
do much there.
He hits him definitely harder than Mark did. I think.
we didn't get another great line. It was like, Immortal's like, "I never liked you," and Omni-Man kills him. He's like, "Feelings mutual."
That was back. That was in the original.
Yeah, that was in the original, but like,
But I mean,
still,
I
it's
like it this
annoying.
time because instead of doing that, he pokes his eyes out. He's like, "Oh!" like screaming, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
We watched that together.
Yeah.
Did you?
He
And the
he
first thing I
laughing
said,
hysterically.
the first thing I said after I did it, because Omni-Man's eyes go red bloodshot.
Yeah.
I say he looks like Mr. Krabs when he got salt on his
Yeah.
eyes when the
Yeah.
robots were taking over.
Yeah, he like that's in the comic too. That's why his eyes look all red like that, and he's covered in blood. And that's in the comic. That's all you get is Immortal attacks Omni-Man, and then Invincible comes to help him because they're like, "Oh, Immortal's back from the dead. Why is he fighting Omni-Man?"
Yeah, and
And then
I like how the news was watching
Omni-Man
this
kills
entire thing, and like, everyone sees Omni-Man kill Immortal
Yep.
again, and so everyone's like, "Oh shit!" And they're drawing their own conclusion, saying, "Maybe Omni-Man did kill the Guardians. Like, why would he do that? I mean, why would Immortal come back and immediately go after him?"
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
so now the secret's pretty much out.
Yeah.
That Omni-Man's bad. So when they're doing that fight, when Mark is fighting his dad, people aren't like, "Oh, did Mark go crazy?" No, they're like pretty sure that Omni-Man is evil now.
Yeah,
So
because he killed Immortal
Yeah.
basically, and everybody got to see it. Those little balls with the cameras on them, those will play a big part later on as well.
it's the brother eye of Invincible.
And it's Angstorm. But basically that and the in the final episode, obviously the Omni-Man fight's the best part of the episode, and that Alan the alien
So,
at
yeah,
the end. I think is a
Episode
really
8
big part.
wraps pretty much everything up a bit, but there's one thing the Guardians didn't really get wrapped up. So when Mark and Omni-Man fight, they completely blow up parts of Chicago. So the Guardians go in to try and save people. And at the end of it, they go back to their HQ and they're all tired, like they just flop down on the ground basically. And Rex gets up and goes to wipe off the blood stain from the last Guardians that Cecil left up. And Black Samson goes up behind him and is like, "Hey, we haven't earned that yet." And Rex says, "Fuck you."
Fuck off.
Fuck off or whatever. And goes to keep doing it. And he like grabs him, but then he realizes that everyone else is getting ready to join in on Rex's side. So he just goes and pats him on the shoulder and says, "Look, now we look like a team doing it." And that was like super awkward and weird. Like why did they make it happen that way?
Yeah, that wasn't in the comic at all, but
I
I mean, it was interesting, I guess.
It just doesn't make sense because, I mean,
it's supposed to show their growth as a squad,
but it
through
doesn't
the
really do
season,
that to
but
me.
I don't
'cause
think it really
it
does
didn't
its
because
job.
Black Samson did that, and I mean,
I would have much rather a montage of them saving people.
Yeah, he
randomly
had
or
a
something.
very good point, I imagine, because I mean, they haven't been a team for long, and Omni-Man did all this stuff, and I mean, they didn't beat him; they just saved people.
Yeah,
so,
which I mean that's an
why-
accomplishment.
Yeah, that's an accomplishment, but I mean, why that doesn't make you like full? We should wipe this off. Like we earned this. It's like, no, you haven't. you all got your asses handed to you by Battle Beast, and then you saved some people when Omni-Man was doing shit. And
Well, let's be honest. You don't always stumble into facing a giant lion man who's the best fighter in the galaxy.
And I
love thinking you're gonna go fight some New York criminal.
I love the ending scene when they're flashing when they show Battle Beast, and he's basically about to murder the equivalent of mall cops on that ship. Like they're just dudes in shorts and short sleeves, and they have like little pistols, and they're like, "Cool, what's up there?" They shine the light, and Battle Beast
is just searching for a fight, and he's just killing everybody who's in his way. I like that montage because it made me think like, you know, if you remember, I think in the last episode they renewed it like that week.
Yeah.
And so this had to be made a long time ago. So I mean, this stuff was all made with the thought of, if we get a season 2, here's all the stuff that you might get.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed the montage, and I think it kind of was good with the hints. I think Doc Seismic was a little weird to have in there, but he's
a fan favorite.
Yeah. The squids, and the
Mauler twins,
and the Reaniman. That was all stuff. And Battle Beast, obviously, that was all great stuff. And there was actually a hint towards Conquest on the Voltramite planet, which I think
Omni-Man did not show up at all in any of it. He was not present in the episode after he leaves.
Yeah,
they showed pictures, and like they did a flashback of all the stuff that like showing how he cared for Mark during this season.
Yeah, I'm honestly wondering if Omni-Man's gonna even be in season 2.
He might not. Like they might.
I don't know.
Later.
Yeah, I mean, they could save him for season 3.
I really find it very interesting.
How long does he go away in the comics?
I mean, it's after the Angstorm arc, so
if that's the main villain for season 2,
I think
season 3 may pick up with more Viltrumite stuff.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so, but I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah. But, I find it during when Omni-Man's fighting Mark and saying all that stuff, it almost sounds like he's trying to argue and convince himself as much as he's trying to convince Mark.
Yes.
Especially when it did the flashback of
the baseball
game, and he actually was really happy. And I mean, he ran off. And
I like that they played with the gap between his teeth, and then it goes back to Mark when he's just freaking disfigured. Yeah, he's disfigured. It's like, oh, he's still missing the teeth.
Yeah, I feel like Stephen Yeun actually got his head busted open to do this voice acting.
Jeez.
But I mean, he has experience from The Walking Dead.
Yes, he does.
And I realized that a lot of Walking Dead actors actually came into the voice, like the original Guardians were all voiced by Walking Dead voice actors. Actors, because so Robert Kirkman was bringing in his people.
Exactly. I don't blame him though. So I guess, Riley, is there any best or worst things that you got out of these episodes? Anything you didn't like?
I mean, y'all hit the things I didn't like.
Yeah, I mean, they're still doing the shitty Invincible intros, which still hasn't grown on me. Soundtrack's still amazing.
Yeah.
Characters are all great.
I have one thing.
Go for
it. There's some instances where like I don't think that was the best thing they could have said. Or,
right.
Like you are talking about with Black Samson. Like
that was dumb.
Weird scene. The stuff with Amber was kind of not done the best way.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. So Mark is out of the hospital after getting beat by his dad, and he gets home, and like immediately Amber shows up. She's like, "Hey," and she kisses him, and it's like, "You're not gonna say sorry?
Yeah,
You're not gonna apologize?" And he just like lets her in, like no, like oh, nothing's changed apparently. It's like, it was weird. It just.
If I was Mark, I probably would have been like, "Get out."
Yeah,
get out of here.
It's like it's not gonna
look
work.
Look at what you're doing. But I didn't much care for the differences they did with the Amber character, but I think everybody else was pretty cool. I think the secret identity thing's kind of dumb too, because nobody knew who Adam Eve was. I was like, why?
Yeah.
I'm like, her name's Eve. It's in her name.
Yeah.
And then also her name's Samantha, which is odd.
And I mean, wasn't she? She was huge, like during the.
But that her parents and all that stuff is in the comic too. So.
When she went off though and did her own thing and was like saving people just from disasters and helping with famines and stuff, she was checking social media and people were posting about her. So it's like And then she gets here, and they're like, "Who? Who's Adam Eve?"
Yeah, we didn't know you were a
We didn't know you were a
superhero.
superhero. I knew it. Hey, like William was like, "Oh yeah, you could make clones of yourself."
Yeah.
You got a redhead mixed up for an Asian woman.
In the comic, it's kind of explained because like Eve like always is like flying. She'll fly with
Okay.
Mark or something, and she'll be like, it's funny. No one ever looks up. Like you go change or whatever into your superhero outfit and you fly away, but like if you're not flying that fast or whatever, then no one's gonna look up and even know you're even there.
I like how in episode 8 that this happened twice when Omni-Man left the planet. When he breaches out of the atmosphere, all the blood gets burnt off.
Oh yeah,
and he
cool.
leaves behind a single tear.
Yeah.
And then when Mark goes up because Cecil called and says, "Hey, I know I didn't want to call you in, but someone's heading into the solar system. We don't know who it is, so I need you to meet him and hold him off. Like I just need someone." And Mark's like, "Okay," and he jumps up and his clothes burn off, leaving the Invincible costume he's wearing under it.
Right.
And that just shows he's still gonna be hero because when he left the home, still wearing his hero costume.
Yeah,
so.
definitely. Anything else that y'all can think of? Leaving it open.
The GDA is better than Shield or Checkmate.
Yes.
I said it.
Okay, so let's do a ranking of the entire series, like out of 10, I guess. For me, it would be a 9.0, I think, or a 9 or a 9.5. Either way, 9.
I would probably give it a 9 as well, just because those stuff with like the Guardians of the Globe, the new ones, and Amber, like those are like the only parts where I'm like, you could have done a lot better than that. But all the rest of the stuff was really good.
Yeah,
like, I can't really find much fault in it.
No,
there's just some stuff. Some of the animation, like they're trying to save money, so you'll see like the CGI backgrounds that look terrible. Like especially,
I like the CGI.
No, not the cities.
The
I'm talking.
okay, that's what I was
I'm talking about the people. Like especially,
okay.
you can see it during the Flaxen invasion. Like they're horrible CGI models, just like they put paint textures on them like flat colors.
Yeah,
and they're all just like you can honestly tell that it's bad animation.
Yeah,
so just that stuff. But other than that,
I think the animation improved throughout the series, or maybe I just didn't notice.
No,
it as much.
they were just keeping it to like the gore parts.
I know there's times where I noticed stuff like in this episode 8, there was a scene where it's like the helicopter's flashing or whatever, and it's just frame by frame by frame.
And I thought I looked at Tanner because he's read the comics. I was like, were those panels from the comic?
No.
I mean, they could have just done that.
I think they were just trying to save money there. I mean, and you can play it off in the story too, because it's kind of what he's seeing while the helicopter's landing and stuff. So you can play it off like that. But I think it was just budget reason. What do you think, Riley?
I'd give it an 8.5. I mean, it's enjoyable. Yeah, just some clunky scenes, but overall, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm excited for season 2.
Yeah.
I don't know how soon we're gonna get it, but I'm hoping next year, like fall of next year, and or like the start of what would that be, 2023?
Next year's 2022, bud.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Fall of 2022 or
then 2023. Yeah.
The start of 2023.
That's how years work.
Yeah, I think those two. I think either of those two is when we'll get season 2. Because we don't have to worry about COVID or anything with Invincible because it's animated. So
yeah.
So I'm hype. I hope you enjoyed the series. Sorry this video came late, but please sound off in the comments below. Let us know what your thoughts were on the series. Oh, and there'll be like 4 or 5 unboxing videos soon.
Yeah.
We got Riley's Sideshow statue coming. So that will probably go up first. I'll get that one done first. And then I've got 2 Hot Toys unboxings on there as well. So
cool.
So gear up and get ready and enjoy the rest of your day. Salutations.
Like and subscribe.